ecosystem services. We started with our group activity, word association, words related to forest biodiversity. So to give us more information about our forest, may I call on Mr. Norman Ramirez of the ASEAN Center for Biodiversity to give his presentation.
Hello, good morning to everybody. So rather than being called or as a resource person, I would rather be called like or treated like a facilitator, because definitely you facilitator, or I will be stimulating the discussions here. And perhaps this is I would not say that this is a no-brainer, but because this is about the definition of forest, but for the benefit of the others also, allow me to look back and take a look at the definition of forest. By the way, there are a lot of published definitions of forests, which reflects the diversity of the forests and forest ecosystems, as well as the human approaches to forests. And so, but the definition would basically be that so that we won't miss out the important items or the keywords here. So, forest is a land area of more than 5.5, not less than 0.5 hectares, with a tree canopy cover of more than 10%, and which is not primarily under agricultural or other specific non-forest land use. The trees should be able to reach a minimum height of 5 meters at maturity on site. This is the FAO definition. And just to show you the different types of forests in selected ASEAN countries. So we can see there in, for example, Brunei Darussalam, there's mixed deciduous, pterocarps, limestone, and mangroves. And in some also you can find those types of forests. It is interesting to note that in the ASEAN region, there is a significant change in forest cover. You will see that from 2000 to 2007, Indonesia or the Philippines has the highest rate of deforestation. So it's 1.73, followed by Indonesia and Cambodia. But in the case of Vietnam, there's a remarkable increase in forest cover, 1.3, due to natural and man-made or human interventions. And when we look back at the definition of ecosystems, an ecosystem is a dynamic complex of plant, animal, and microorganism communities and their non-living environment interacting as a functional unit. So we are all aware of this one. And among the ecosystems, the ecosystems are classified into two. So what are those two? We have terrestrial and aquatic. And in terrestrial ecosystems, we have agroecosystems and forest ecosystems. And in aquatic ecosystems, we have freshwater and coastal ecosystems. A forest ecosystem is a dynamic complex of plant, animal, and microorganism communities and their abiotic environment interacting as a functional unit where, as Dr. Manina mentioned a while ago, trees is a key component. And as Ma'am Josie mentioned also, the abiotic environment there refers to those non-living components like the soil and stone and the like. And then we revisit the definition of biological diversity or biodiversity. So it means that it is the variability among living organisms from all sources, including inter alia, terrestrial, marine, and other aquatic ecosystems, and the ecological complexes of which they are part. Of course, this includes the diversity within species, between species and ecosystems. And now, going to forest biological diversity. Forest biological diversity does not include trees, but also plants, animals, and microorganisms that inhabit the forest areas. And now we go to the ecosystem services. These are direct and indirect contributions of ecosystems to human well-being. And most often, when we say ecosystem goods and services, this is synonymous to ecosystem services. I think we're going to have a short activity again.
Before we go to our activity, may I ask if you have some clarification or some comments about the presentation? Or maybe you can add some more. Any? Any comment? Okay, there's none.
There's one.
Okay, yeah. We are glad we have our representative from India because we are all ASEAN and we have representative from India and from Oman. And also, other than members of the KECOP, we have also one from the Philippines. But before I go to you, can we also introduce our participants from the Philippines?
Hello, good morning to everybody. I'm Donald Lumakas from the province of Kalinga. It's actually on the north of the Philippines. We are on the mountainous region and a very forested area. So if you want to come to a very forested area in the Philippines, come to our place, Kalinga. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
A very basic comment, and we have been, even in my own experience, whenever we have presentations on forest and biodiversity, we follow the definitions of FAO or CBD, and it often happens that we get entangled into what this whole thing is. This is a comment in order to improve, because I also belong to the same, I am also part of your group. So I think that we should come up with some simpler ways of explaining what biodiversity and forests are. Because the basic reason why we are losing out on biodiversity is because its definition is so complicated that people really get bored. This is my just frank opinion, and I think we should, as a group, we should work on effective communication so that people who want, we want to make a change in their behavior, they understand our language. Thank you.
In India, how do you define forest?
I already mentioned that we together we are failing to come up with with simpler explanation of forests. We should, I mean, this is a suggestion to everybody, even for people from India, that we should not go by definition. We should really try to come up with something which is explain. I mean, which can explain the services in a very very, let us say, brief manner. A very lengthy definition of biodiversity and forest, and it really is. I mean, it is complicated. I mean, it is definitely complex, but the definition or the way it is to be communicated need not be complex. That is what my suggestion is.
Any definition? Any comment or?
Well, I was just struck with the slide that Mr. Ramirez showed to us with regard to the change in the forest area. So if you notice, all have negative except for Vietnam. Maybe we can ask our friends from Vietnam, how will you explain this positive change? Because if you look at the countries, it's only you who have positive, and congratulations. To what can you attribute this good performance?
Okay. I would like to explain to you that in the 1990, the government have a ban for exploitation of the timber from the nature, from ban, no exploitation. So reduce gradually, and then we started one very big program we call 5 million hectare reforestation program, approved by the National Assembly for the next 15 years. So that up to now, you can see that the program was very good for, maybe the best for the people that they recognize the importance of the forest. And now if you come to Vietnam, you can see that everywhere people plant trees, because we can export the timber, the furniture, chips for China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Japan, and for the last year, the money come to Vietnam about more than $4 billion from the export of furniture and timber products. So that everywhere in Vietnam, people recognize that if you can you plant some trees, you can get money, because we have some. Not only some, many clones of eucalyptus and acacia for short rotation, like 5 to 6 years. So you can plant them 5 to 6 years and sell the timber for chips and for furniture also. So that is important of the whole program, that we call people to plant trees in the forest and in the garden. So that we keep the forest, nature forest, and the plantation increased now about more than 3 million hectares from the north to the south. Okay, that is my explanation. Is it good for you?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. And sir, yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Regarding the, definition of biological diversity as well as biological conservation, I think we should go to the simple definition. Like you can say, for example, biological diversity is the genetic species and ecological diversity of the organism in a given area. So this is short definition will come out or will explain all the meaning of the biological diversity. I think this kind of definition was also used by UNEP and all United Nations organizations. When you come to biological conservation, mainly we should refer to maintenance of species, habitat, community, and ecosystem. That is my comment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And I remember that one definition also of biodiversity that was suggested is biodiversity is simply the variety of all forms of life. Yeah, so that includes genetic at the genetic level up to the ecosystem level. And I agree with just a comment. I agree with the sir about simplifying the definition of forests, especially that sometimes we overlook the possible implications of not having a common definition. Based on experience of ACP, way back in 2008, we had I remember that we experienced some concerns or issues on having a common biodiversity indicator for Southeast Asia. So there was an initiative before to come up with a common set of biodiversity indicators to also in relation to the 2010 biodiversity targets. So if we look back again at the definition of forest, it says there that as long as it is not less than 10%, the tree canopy is not less than 10%. I remember that this was raised by, if I'm not mistaken, Vietnam, because sir from Vietnam, maybe you can share your definition of forest if you can recall, because I think there's some variation with regard to this one. This is FAO.
No, now we apply the FAO the definition because but in the old time we the canopy cover in Vietnam we suggest that 30%, not 10. But now we apply the FAO. Yeah.
Thank you for the clarification, sir.
I would like to give my ideas on the forest, because this will lead to the conservation. When we talking about the forest conservation, where is the area that we are focusing for? And in this definition, you just consider only the covering. I think I agree with the canopy cover, that how many percent, because it's leading to ecosystem service and leading to the soil conservation, water and soil and water conservation. But the forest also play a significant role in the biodiversity and habitat. And in this definition, you mentioned just the forest is not under agricultural or other specific non-forest land use. So in some agriculture, there are a number of trees, and some agricultural land is fall in the area which suitable for wildlife habitat, like riverine along the canal. I think if we will give the definition of forest, we should cover the function, how the community, plant community, tree dominate land use can be covered in the definition of the forest, like tree farming. I don't know whether you include the lumber plantation or the fruit tree orchard, if it mixed with the various crops, it can provide also the habitat for wildlife. So maybe in this case we can draw a map draw a map for where is the suitable place for a plant community which play a significant role in forest functionality.
We will take note all your suggestions regarding definition of forest. Maybe we can present that to a body really to look into that. Yeah, any more recommendations as to the definition of forest? So, and in summary, actually, the definition, the recommendations that we should not only include canopy, but we have also to include the functions and also other classifications. Or maybe we can also include other classifications, just like industrial forest or forest plantation or whatever. All these recommendations we will take note and we will present it to the body of or any organization that will take charge. Any more comments